Well, good afternoon once again, everybody, and welcome back to the United Regional Chamber of Commerce's weekly update show. We appreciate you tuning in. We try and bring you interesting guests and subjects each and every week. And this week, I'm very pleased to be able to introduce to all of you the new dean at Bristol Community College, right there on Pleasant Street in Attleboro, Dr. Janet Ray. Dr. Ray, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Jack. Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Well, I know you're brand new. You've only been there for a short time, and you're still trying to get everything settled. So I won't harass you too much on today's show.
Great.
We try and make this a conversation instead of an interrogation.
Wonderful.
So tell us a little bit about Janet Ray.
Sure. So I'll take you back. So I actually started as a first generation international student of color. So I came to the U.S. for college. There were several colleges that went to my home. I'm originally from Barbados, so I had several colleges from the U.S. came and they were recruiting students. And my parents didn't go to college, so they really couldn't help me navigate the intricacies of applying and preparing and attending college. But thankfully, I had some really wonderful professors and advisors who, were really tremendous in helping me acclimate to the college as well as to American academics, because it was certainly different from my home country. So I attended a community college in my home country, and that's Barbados, where I actually received my Associate of Science in Tourism and Travel Marketing. And then I came to the US and I earned my Bachelor of Science in Travel Tourism Management, a Master's of Business Administration and Global Business Leadership with a concentration in financial management. And then I also got my doctorate degree in education and educational leadership. And those were all from Johnson & Wales University. So I'm very proud of the education that I've gained in the U.S. And then prior to coming to Bristol Community College, I served as the Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Studies, the Sophomore Dean, and the Director of International Student Success, as well as an adjunct instructor at Providence College. So I was also fortunate enough where I was the interim Assistant Dean of Multicultural Student Success. So I was in that role for about 15 months, along with doing all of my other roles. And, having worked in higher education for over 15 years, the roles that I've chosen have been very intentional, because for me, it's all about, gaining a holistic view of the different students that we serve, right, in higher education. And in each of the roles that I have undertaken, I feel like it was really important for me to understand, who the students are that come to the various institutions that I've worked at. So I've worked at Dean College, I've worked at Wheaton College, I've worked at the Rhode Island School of Design, Providence College, and now Bristol Community College, right? So I wanted to know, who are these students? What makes them successful in and outside of the classroom? What stops these students from being successful? And then what support mechanisms that we can put in place in order to make sure that we are supporting these students. So that's a little bit about my background. That's a little bit about, what I'm interested in and why I do the things that I do and why I work in higher education.
Well, very interesting background, very diverse background, which
Yes.
works out really well for our college here in Attleboro.
Yes.
Tell us, what brought you to BCC?
Sure. So my role at Bristol Community College is, being the dean of the Attleboro campus. And really, when I saw the role, it was about making sure that in this role that I would be fostering a student-centered educational environment, right, which would be very responsive to the unique needs of the students that we serve in the Attleboro area, right? As well as to help with the recruitment and the retention of Attleboro students. So what I will be doing in this role is that I will be continuing to build and create relationships with community organizations, and as well as to work with leaders to develop new collaborations that continue to foster, the college atmosphere that we have specifically in the Attleboro area. So in addition to everything that was written in the job description, I really felt like a community college was a better fit for me, and more specifically Bristol Community College, right? Because I truly appreciate the work and and the value of the work that is done at Bristol Community College, right? And as someone who went to a community college, I know the opportunities that a community college education affords, a diverse population, right? So whether you are, first generation, whether you're a veteran, whether you're an adult learner, whether you're an LGBTQ plus, whatever, however you identify yourself, you can find a place at Bristol Community College, right? So Bristol is really committed to providing an accessible, innovative and inclusive education. And they talk about preparing students to really navigate and succeed in an ever-changing world. And we know that this is true, right? And so this is something that I strive to do every day. It's something that I strive to do in the roles that I've taken on. And I really like the collaboration and the community feel that Bristol Community College has, and it has worked really hard to create an inclusive environment. So it doesn't matter what campus you go to, you will feel as though you belong at Bristol Community College. And what I will say is that I followed Bristol Community College well before I even came to Bristol to work at Bristol Community College, because I was really intrigued by the work that they were doing. And I felt that the work was really important, right? And in addition to that, we know that, a community college plays a significant role in U.S. higher education, right? And it's completely different from a private or a four-year institution or a state institution. So I would say what drew me to Bristol Community College is really the fact that I get to work and be able to invest in people and the programming and the classes that we offer. It really fit into our diverse student schedule. So whether you're a parent, and you're coming to Bristol Community College for our classes, or, whether you are just looking to get a certificate, I appreciate the work that's done here. And what also drew me to Bristol, and I will say this, is that, I value what they say about the mission, what they say about their vision, and what they say about their value. And everything that they do is student-centered. And then a critical piece of my work, which I was like, I absolutely need to get this job and I need to work here, was because they talked about, focusing on the Commonwealth Equity Agenda, which is, I should say, to promote equity and increase attainment at all levels of the campus, and really to ensure that the work we do is centered on equitable outcome for all students, not just some students. And from what I have seen and know of the institution, I would say that Bristol Community College really strives to provide a high quality education at an affordable cost. And I mean, who wouldn't want to work here for that specific reason?
Well, that's the great reasons. I've had the pleasure of working with Bristol Community College long before I took this position 15 years ago. President Jack Zabriga was around when I was here, and now we talk with Dr. Laura Douglas.
Yes.
But one of the unique things about Bristol Community College, especially our Attleboro campus, is you can go there and get your associate's degree.
Yes.
And then go downstairs. Tell us a little bit about that partnership.
So absolutely. So Bristol has a partnership with Bridgewater State University, and it's actually upstairs.
Okay, sorry.
Upstairs, yeah. So once you've completed your 2-year degree, you can just head on upstairs and and talk to Catherine, who is upstairs, and she can help students figure out what major, if they're unsure of what major they're interested in, if they're just taking general elective courses here and they're unsure of the direction that they want to go in, then Catherine can work with those students and ensure that that the major that they're interested in, or if they're unsure, that they're going down the right path and they're not just wasting time doing credits that will not go towards a 4-year degree. So we are very proud of the partnership that we have with Bridgewater State, and I'm sure that they would say the same thing. And it makes it so much easier for people in the Attleboro area, because you don't have to travel out of state, right? Or you don't have to travel for an hour or 45 minutes to go to Boston, to go to college in Boston, right? You can come to Bristol Community College here in Attleboro, and then you can go upstairs and attend classes at Bridgewater State.
That's right. It's so convenient. It's actually on the bus line too.
Yes.
Very easily to get to. I don't live that far there I don't live far from the college myself.
Yep.
So I know how accessible it is.
It is, absolutely.
But, during this crazy time, and I know that you're just in the position for a few months now.
Yes.
Tell us some of the challenges of operating a college during these COVID restrictions.
Absolutely. So I'm a little over 2 months in, but what I can tell you is that some of the challenges that I think we are facing are very similar to what other community college and even private institutions and four-year state colleges are facing, right? And that's really trying to navigate COVID and everything that comes along with COVID, right? And at this point in time, what we're seeing is that we have lower than usual enrollment. So we need to find ways where we are reminding students and putting out the message that we are here, that we are open, that we support their educational needs, and that we're committed to making sure they're successful. And then, another challenge that we are seeing is recruitment, right? And the reason why we're seeing some challenges with recruitment is because we are seeing that people are, when we're doing online recruitment, say online college fairs, or we're doing online recruitment sessions, we know that people are having Zoom fatigue, right? Because whether they are in high school and they're, they may be taking classes remotely, or whether they're at work and they're in Zoom meetings, or whatever the case may be, being online all day and then having to attend another Zoom event to talk about college that you're interested in can be a bit exhausting, right? And it's certainly and then the other side that we're seeing is that with COVID, people are hesitant to come out in person, right? They're very cautious. So we certainly are not seeing the numbers that we saw in the past as it relates to recruitment, but we're hoping that once the spring starts, that we'll see some more and that number will pick up. And then, of course, there's always, retention. Most colleges now are struggling with their retention numbers, right? And we know that at this point in time, people are trying to decide, do I take a break from college? Do I continue working? I need to take care of my family. I don't have money for childcare, so I need to make sure I'm working. So I have to take a break from classes, right? And then some of the courses that we offer, students may not be interested in. Some people may want to attend classes in person, but only because they know that they don't do well in online learning. We may not have those courses that they want in person, right? Those courses may be offered more online. So we're always looking at ways to make sure that we are catching students, right? And we're meeting them where they're at. And if a student is saying, I have to drop out of class, right? How can we help that student? How can we say to that student, okay, instead of dropping out of 4 classes, how about dropping down to maybe 1 or 2 classes, right? Where you can still work. Or have you thought about maybe taking a 7 p.m. class at night, right? Or maybe a 9:30 class in the morning, and then you can go to work in the afternoon, right? So it's trying to figure out all those things to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the students so that we are retaining those students, because we know the value of an education, but we also know that people are dealing with a lot right now as it relates to COVID. So we're doing whatever we can. And then on the flip side, what we're also seeing is that, people who have lost their jobs, unfortunately, they're now deciding to return to school because they may be looking to move into a different career path, or they may be looking to do a certificate in order to, change jobs, or whatever the case may be. So those are some of the things that we're seeing that are challenging at this time.
What do you see, let's just say percentage-wise, how many folks are in person compared to online?
So I can't particularly tell you how in terms of percentage, but what I can tell you is that, at all locations this fall, we are offering about a total of 932 courses. And out of those courses, 208 of them are face-to-face, and then 185 of them are actually considered hybrid. So they're a mix of online and in person. And about 42% of all of our courses have an in-person component to it. In order to get the percentages, I would have to work with the registrar's office. And right now they're super busy, trying to get ready for the spring semester. But what I will say is that, we have been and we continue to be flexible in terms of our mode of delivery for classes. We have face-to-face, we have full we have hybrid, we have full online, and we are available in person via email, phone, Zoom, Teams, whatever it takes to get our students in the classes that they need. If they need to talk to an advisor, we are here. We are really committed to ensuring that we can make college a reality for people in our community. So we will continue to offer a variety of options so that people are able to choose what works best for them.
Yeah. And what what do you think is one of the most popular classes right now?
Sure. So I would say actually I on the Attleboro campus, so I can speak to the Attleboro campus, and what I
Okay.
can say our two most popular courses are our English 101 course and our biology course. So obviously, those are courses that students need to take if they're looking to seek a degree, complete a degree. And our Bio 101, that's one of our popular courses. It's a general bio lab science that most majors need. So we do see a lot of students sign up for those two courses.
Okay. Well, we're getting pretty close here. Tell me, what can we do as an organization, the Chamber of Commerce, and our local folks here in the public that are viewing the show today? What can we do to help you?
I would say continue with the partnerships that we have. I am happy to go out in the public and talk to people. If you have events going on, please invite me to those events. I am more than happy to show up and talk about, all the great things that are happening, not just at the Attleboro campus, but, all of the Bristol Community College locations in general. We absolutely appreciate the collaboration and the information that you provide as it relates to what you are hearing that people are saying that they need in the community. So we want you to continue to share that information with us. We want you to continue to partner with us. If there's something that you think that we are not offering, that you think that the community may be interested in, please let us know. We have over 130 degree and certificate programs. So, we can certainly work on adding one more if it's something that people have shown an interest in. So we invite you to always have that open line of communication with us and tell us what it is that you need from us. And we'll continue to partner with as many people as we can.
Well, we've been very fortunate here at the Chamber because we've had a long-standing relationship with Bristol Community College. You've put on many classes for us and seminars,
Yes.
Workshops for my members as well as the general public. And we want you to know that we're here to support you as much as you support us, and whatever we can do to make people learn more about BCC. Folks, I hope you've had an opportunity to get a little peek at Dr. A and the fantastic job she's doing. Everything I hear is she's very approachable, very easy to talk to. She was a little nervous coming on the show today. She thought I was going to interrogate her. But I think we went pretty smooth, don't you think, Janet?
Yes, thank you, Jack. I appreciate you having me on the show, and it was definitely a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, so thank you.
All right, we'll be in touch some more. Hang on just for a minute. Folks, thank you very much for joining the show again this week. Next week, we're going to be back with the new superintendent of schools up at the Tri-County Regional Vocational Technical High School. Karen's going to come on and tell us about the plans that she has for up there. If there's something that you'd like to see us talk about on the show, a subject that you need to learn more about, please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at the Chamber of Commerce. Also, got to do a big shout out again to Dave Angel, our producer over at Double ACS. They've been patient with me over the last, I don't know how many shows we've done now, Dave, but you and the crew over there cover so much, and you're such a resource to not only Attleboro, to all the local communities. So, folks, thank you once again. Hope everybody stays safe, and we'll see you next week.